In the last couple of months, we've been designing a 3D printed 4x4 drivetrain into this massive 1.8 RC racing buggy. It's heavy, it's big, it's violent, designed to bear heavy load. Right now powered by a 4x4 almost fully 3D printed. All the shafts, differentials and the pulleys at the belt drive. Will this thing even last 5 minutes? Let's find out.
Eternity. Indestructible printed buggy from scratch? We'll see. We're even gonna crash test it. Careful, by the end of the video, you might want it. As always, files will be available. Why do we try a cheap belt drive instead of the usual 3D printed gears this time? Printed gears are rigid. When a powerful motor punches it, that shockwave instantly shears, sometimes shatters plastic teeth. We could nearly got it right in previous projects with weak motors. Side note, in this project, we finally gonna upgrade the 540
to something bigger. But first, the design has to be able to host a 540 without a hitch.
Also, a toothed belt has natural elasticity. It acts as a mechanical shock absorber. Even better is the contact ratio. Gears only engage 1.2 to 1.6 teeth at a time. Our belt distributes the load over multiple teeth simultaneously, preventing friction and thermal meltdown in a case of a powerful motor. Bonus, it's not that quiet, but much less noisy. Will this cushioning be enough to survive a heavy test? We won't know until we stress tested it. Stick with us to see in a minute. But before that, we had to take care of a massive heat problem. The motor and its shaft are the hottest points on the car. They act like a soldering iron at bigger loads. To prevent meltdown, most probably the melting of the printed little motor pulley, we thought of this brass adapter. It mounts securely to the shaft and distributes the generated heat over a much larger metal volume and surface, killing the heat concentration. Furthermore, only 2 bolts and a spacer touch the motor, limiting heat transfer. No other brackets for fixing the motor are needed, which would just take up heat and melt. Disadvantage of applying this metal adapter was that the motor pulley had to be larger. Because of this, we could only use a 2:1 reduction ratio instead of 3:1. Less torque, more RPM. We traded raw punch for thermal survival. Let's see. Some of the belt and the motor pulley got chewed up. Despite all our efforts, heat melted the motor side gearbox housing where the bolts are. This deformation caused the motor pulley rotating at a false angle, making the belt shear off the tops of the ABS pulley teeth. We made a mistake. This setup is not suitable for such a heavy car as this buggy got to be. Higher torque needed in the drivetrain to move the buggy more easily while also protecting the motor and preventing nearby parts from meltdown. With increased ratio, we can lower torque demand for the motor, which significantly drops current draw. Since heat generation follows the formula Q equals I squared times R times time, reducing current significantly decreases heat production. Half the current results in 1/4 of the heat generated. Taking everything just said into account, we're even better off with a 4:1 belt drive ratio over the previously mentioned 3:1. With this alternative cylindrical adapter, we managed to create the desired smaller motor pulley. Also, let's try a motor with an open rear. This kind of a motor is set to produce less heat. Let's see if that's true. Furthermore, instead of a 17T winding, a 23T, which would result in lower RPM, but also lower current. In our case, the low turn motor could not reach its optimal operating range with the long gear ratio. As this figure shows, the goal is for the motor to operate under high load within its efficient speed range, where efficiency is maximized and losses are minimized. A higher gear ratio helps to achieve that. As the car is getting heavier, we are recommending this 80 amp electronic speed controller for even this budget motor. We also upgraded the battery to this 5000 milliamp hour as the car was draining the old one really fast. Additionally, we can put a heatsink on for safety's sake. Also, the motor side housing should be printed using ABS since ABS has a higher softening temperature than PLA. Could you guys see what bigger torque means when the buggy starts? Believe it or not, these pictures you see now are at the very end of the video. We are, after all tests, all parts of the drivetrain show amazing quality. The belt system looks immaculate now. As you can see, there are no signs of any distortion due to much heat around the motor. There's just a little dust due to shredding in the differential houses. We didn't even use any lubricants, and it seems we don't even need them. You guys think otherwise? One goal achieved. 3D Buggy is budget motor ready. So we soon gonna upgrade him to the next level. Will we succeed? As you could see, the core of the drivetrain is indeed massive and passed the test. Let's see how we achieved it. This is the first time we could freely determine the size of every component in the drivetrain. There wasn't a body shell the chassis had to be designed to fit under. The target for the differentials was a 3:1 gear ratio using the largest teeth possible so the gears would be as durable as possible. The size of the crown wheel partly determines the ground clearance under the car and also the internal gear size. We designed all gears fully from scratch with needed gaps in between them. Taking all that into account, we locked in these massive final dimensions. These differentials ought to be able to take a beating or two. Off-the-shelf metal dog bones are narrow like this. Why do we have these thick monsters here then? The cross-section of the dog bone is the ultimate shear point of the entire drivetrain. We wanted them as robust as possible, so they do not fracture at the enormous load transfer to the huge 1/8 wheels. The 1/8 wheels and steering geometry maxed out at a 14mm diameter, but to maintain proper steering, we had to lighten and reduce the cup and the screw head. Will this lightened cross-section snap under a side impact? And the thickness of the dog bones will be enough? We will have to see in continuous testings. How did we design proper axles to hold these chubby dog bones? Another shear point of the drivetrain is at the front and rear axles. These areas need to deflect big punches the wheels are encountering. The shafts are separated in two in order to print them in the best orientation to bear more load. In the middle of all of them there is an M3 nut. Hopefully these shafts also won't give in easily and will host dog bones very nicely. Most heavily 3D printed buggies drive like boats. Can this actually turn? The main goal here was maximum steering angle, and we hit a massive 39 degrees. We can even swap the knuckle arm to choose between Ackermann or non-Ackermann. The best upgrade of the steering? Typical RC designs use bearings here that get destroyed in the dirt. Okay, not, but we saved that component and designed a custom printed ball joint for perfectly smooth rotation. How do we get to a suitable housing for these shafts? These two support the shafts with bearings. The front is based on our F-150 design. It has 4 parts, changed a little for the better. The rear hub is a brand new 5-part design. We build printed RCs for years now. Hubs and knuckles are to damage easily. So let's see if they survive the crash tests. Just as with all the other parts, we made the front and rear rocking arms as well as the turnbuckles as thick as possible. Compared to our previous designs, we further pushed on better printing orientation. We'll see soon if that was enough. How did we get to this fully printed, threaded, firm, but pressure-sensitive, amazing thing? Regarding tires, we have 2 options. A store-bought for terrain you already saw, and a supportless printed rim with a tire which slides great on concrete, so perfect for crash tests. The tire was printed using TPU, hardness 95A. Inside there is a honeycomb structure which gives the firm but responsive feature. How do you stop a 1/8 scale plastic roll cage from snapping in half off a jump? All components are printed flat for optimal layer strength, reducing the risk of snapping. As well as we aim to design the frame in such a way so that the pieces firmly attach to one another. For easy servicing, we divided the roll cage / chassis into 3 bolted sections, complete with countersunk screw holes. It looks bulletproof for now, but we might need to implement flexible TPU frame upgrades. Does aerodynamic downforce actually being made with this wing? We're up for a home adventure with flour. Not that it would mean too much with this motor right now, and as the body is still wide open, airflow is not being directed nicely to the wing. Although we can see some good things happening behind the wing. By the way, is there a wind tunnel specialist among you guys? In the next video, we're gonna put a body kit on this baby. Any ideas? Aerodynamically fit, preferably. On this back mount, we can even have a camera station. Phones can be attached. We also made one for the hood and one for a right side view. Bumper, quite primitive. Let's see how it can handle impacts. Crash test, we've just found the perfect place.
Concrete walls everywhere.
And a slippery surface which is good for creating side impacts. Bumper test! We don't want to forget someone, do we? Failed miserably. What do we do now? Side impacts. Well, how do we solve this? Broken turnbuckle and rocking arm holder. In the next video, for improved cornering performance, we try to integrate a differential into the central shaft. For an even more crash-resistant design, we upgrade the lower frame using TPU. For a ridiculously realistic suspension, we are adding air oil shock absorbers. As you can see, already made a beauty contest winner bodywork. With the help of AI imagination, we gonna drop even cooler body kits on the frame with hoods and fenders. And of course, we are installing the much bigger motor. So see you guys soon!